The day of the engagement, Emily had just met Jake, the motorcycle teenager who rushed in wearing his motorcycle gear. He said to Emily, "I'm here to steal the bride today. Dare you go with me?" Emily didn't listen to me. She ran over directly. "What am I afraid of?" She shrugged at me. "Sorry, William, you're so boring. Life is so short. It's better to have a little excitement later." She felt that an exciting life was boring. She came back to me. She said, "William, life is most real when it is ordinary." I laughed and said, "You're no fun either." Emily dragged Jake away and turned around. She threw her engagement ring at me. "William, this ring is worth $1 million. Consider it compensation for your spirit." I grabbed her and wouldn't let go. So many people were watching. "Are you really going with him?" I looked at her sharply. Jake, who was standing next to her, laughed. He said, "Young Master William, why be so serious? Don't be unreasonable. That's not very gentlemanly." Emily frowned and said, "Jake, you're no better than him. Don't make things difficult for him. This is my decision." After saying that, she broke free from me and turned around to leave. The roar of the motorcycle pierced the night sky. It quickly disappeared into the distance. Everyone looked at each other. They were all stunned. The scene suddenly became chaotic. Mom and Dad were furious. They shouted, "The Smith family has gone too far. This marriage is off. Our two families' cooperation ends here." Emily's mother quickly said, "William, don't worry. She's just confused for a moment. When she returns, I will definitely talk to her nicely." Emily's father glanced at me indifferently. He said, "Emily just doesn't want to regret it in the future. It's just for fun. Don't take it too seriously." I clutched the ring in my hand and secretly sneered inwardly. If the Smith family really cared about me, this man would not have been here tonight. They probably think it's just an engagement, and the person is me, so they feel like they can control it easily. My surname is William, but my character is not docile. Our William family is not someone to mess with. I smiled at them and said, "Of course I don't care about those things that can't be seen, but there's too much speculation from the outside world. I think it's better to solve it privately. For the sake of the reputation of both families, the goods at King Yuan Pier, we, the William family, will take over." I handed the contract to Emily's father. His expression changed several times. In the end, he signed it with a gritted teeth. This was how my relationship with Emily ended. Walking out of the hotel, I saw Emily post in her circle of friends, "Today is a good day. I'm willing to give up everything for you." I looked at the likes from her girlfriends. I deleted all the likes. And by the way, I blocked Emily too. From now on in my life, Emily will never appear again. Back to our little nest. At a glance, it's full of Emily's things. Exquisite figurines surrounding the motorcycle. If you didn't know, you'd think she was a motorcycle fan, but she used to be a quiet and introverted person. I don't know when it started. She became obsessed with that boy. He's flamboyant and arrogant, with red hair. Emily always stared at her phone and said in a daze, "Look, he looks so handsome on his motorcycle. This is what life is about. So exciting." In the video, Jake is wearing a tight leather jacket and matching leather pants. His red hair is blowing in the wind as he rides his motorcycle. This scene captivated Emily. She soon became his biggest fan. The two of them developed their relationship online and then in real life. Emily spent less and less time with me. There were also more and more motorcycle-related things in the house. At that time, I understood. She was serious. I really didn't expect it. She did it for Jake. She even embarrassed me at the engagement banquet. I finished packing Emily's things. I called a runner. I sent all her things to her house. I even chose to pay on delivery within an hour. Emily called me with a strange number. As soon as I connected, I heard her say, "William, you really went to these lengths, but you're breaking off the engagement. You're so eager to get rid of me. You even chose to pay for the delivery. What else could I do? You're nothing to me." I hung up after that, and I blocked the number. I calmly cleaned the apartment and put up a for sale sign. I didn't want anything to do with her. My friends asked me out for a drink to cheer me up. I didn't want to go. "William, you've only lost a tree, but there's a whole forest here. Emily can find it. Why can't you hurry over? There are plenty of pretty girls here." Without saying a word, he sent me his location and a photo. In the photo, under the dim lighting, the woman's profile was faintly visible. From this angle, she really was very pretty. I quickly tidied myself up and, with a little excitement, walked into the bar this way. John waved at me. When he saw what I was wearing, his eyes widened in surprise. "Not bad, William. You'll definitely turn them on today," he continued. "Emily will be sorry when she finds out." I sneered. "Who cares if she's sorry or not? That's right. We don't care about that. Come on. I'll find you 8 or 10 young and beautiful models today. They're all gorgeous." John pulled me inside. As soon as we arrived, a lot of people were looking at me. I know I'm quite attractive. In the past 2 years, because of Emily, I've tried hard to become stable and dignified. But deep down, I'm still passionate. Now sitting here, I feel like my blood is boiling. "William, look over there, that innocent boy, and the mature woman on the right. Which one do you like better? Only children have to make choices. I'm already an adult." John listened and gave a sinister smile. Before long, I was surrounded by women. We were having a great time. Suddenly someone shouted behind me, "William, what are you doing?" I turned around. It was Emily. Next to her stood Jake and a few of her friends. I ignored her and turned back to my drink. Emily was furious. "William, you must have done that on purpose. You just broke off your engagement with me, and then you go to the bar to look for women. Even if you deliberately want to attract my attention, I won't even look at you twice." After saying that, Jake laughed. "Don't say that. Young Master William is loyal. You can't make him go against the norm like you. He has always been a rule-abiding person." "That's right. A rule-abiding person comes to a bar. Aren't you afraid that your family will find out?" I stared at the way they looked at each other. Leaning against the young model, he raised his eyes and sneered. "Emily, if you're paranoid, you should go to a mental hospital." She said I was copying him. "Are you trying to flatter him?" The girl next to me laughed. "My brother is wearing designer clothes. Some people are good at pretending. His clothes don't cost more than 300 yuan. Who's copying who? You're just a cheap knockoff." Jake's face turned pale. Emily glared at him. "What are you talking about?" "Forget it, Emily. I'm not as good as him. William's family is rich. I'm just an ordinary person. How can I compare?" I nodded. "You just need to know your place." Emily was about to lose her temper. I stopped her. "Don't start with me here. Whoever starts the trouble is in the wrong." She gave me a glare. Angrily, she walked away. Her friends behind her didn't dare to speak. They quickly ran after her. I watched Jake closely behind Emily and shook my head. No matter what, he's still a womanizer. "Brother, did I do well just now?" A voice suddenly came from my ear. The woman with the kitten-like eyes looked at me expectantly. I gently pinched her cheek and said, "Not bad, keep it up." Everyone around us started to jeer. John winked at me. His face showed a look of expectation. I just smiled. I didn't say anything. The bar was noisy. Emily had just caused a scene. I was in no mood either. The little kitten next to me saw that I was not in the mood. She took my hand and said, "Brother, do you want to go for a drive?" Before I could react, she pulled me out. A Harley was parked in front of the bar. The black and gold body gleamed. It was hard to take your eyes off it. "This bike, it must be worth $1 million. Brother, get in the car." "Is this your car?" I earned the money myself working part-time. Hearing this, I didn't say anything. "Put on the helmet." I got into her car. Then a jacket was draped over me. "It's windy," she said. I laughed and zipped it up. I followed her out. As we sped along, my heart seemed to find the passion it had long lost. "My name is Anna." Anna. In the wind, I heard her name. Her name is Anna in this city. People with the surname Anna are rare. I shook my head. I stopped thinking about that question. If that was really the case, why would she be in a bar? I put my arm around her waist. Anna immediately tensed up. I smiled and said, "Little sister, you're nervous. Why don't we go somewhere else?" Anna's face flushed up to her neck until I guided her to her destination. She turned her head, smiling at me. "Brother, are you here to cause trouble today?" "I don't know. It just happened. I really didn't know there was a competition here. The prize is $10,000. Seeing us approaching, Jake whistled and shouted, "Yo, there are more people coming." Then he said to the person next to him, "Jake, look at them. What a body, just like a model with a helmet on. Who knows what they look like? Maybe they're just average." The guys joke around, but they don't hide the fact that they're staring at me. Jake looks a little displeased. He's used to being the center of attention. He's used to being chased. Now there's suddenly someone else. He doesn't like it. Handsome guy is here to cheer, right? Take off the helmet and have a look. If he's not handsome, he's not qualified to participate. His words were full of curiosity and a hint of contempt. Anna quietly walked in front of me, blocking me. I patted her and said, "It's okay. I can also participate in this competition." Jake was a little surprised. "You don't be ridiculous. This is not a bar." A whistle sounded all around. I stared at him and said, "You can do it. So can I, if I win, and the prize money is mine. What if you lose to you?" "Absolutely not." My confidence made him a little angry. "Let's race." Emily took Jake's arm. "I'll raise the stakes. 100,000, Jake. I bet you win." Jake suddenly let out a scream, jumped up and kissed her, then looked at me triumphantly. Because he was wearing a helmet, he couldn't see my expression. I turned to Anna and said, "Remember to cheer for me." Anna nodded vigorously. Jake and I rode side by side on our motorcycles. The engine noise was loud. Whistles sounded all around. The air was filled with the smell of youth. I lifted my chin defiantly. I stuck out my pinky at him. As soon as the starting gun fired, I shot off. The wind whistled in my ears. It made my blood boil. It felt like I was back a few years ago, back when I was young and full of energy. I loved the rush. My parents never restricted me. It was only when I grew up that I gradually calmed down. But those memories are still very clear. This is also my home ground. I accelerate. I turn the corner. The cheers around me are getting louder and louder. This car feels particularly comfortable to me as soon as I drive it. Next to me is Jake. His red car is always half a body behind me. The last lap. I speed up again, but Jake suddenly squeezes over. This guy. No wonder everyone says he's a master cyclist. Playing dirty is he. I stood up slightly. The front of my bike lifted. Immediately, there were screams all around. Jake was so scared that his bike lurched. I took the opportunity to speed up. Jake fell over. My wheels followed and I skidded out and I stopped sideways. Whistles and screams came from all around. Jake was helped up. I got off my bike and walked over. I held out my hand and said, "Thank you. 100,000. Emily, however, looked at me with a suspicious look in her eyes. "What's wrong? You don't want to pay if you lose." The people around her also joked. Emily always. "You're not going to hold back, are you?" Jake was very angry and shouted, "Emily." She immediately took out her phone and prepared to transfer the money. Just after scanning the code, she froze and said in surprise, "William, why is it you?" Emily saw that the transfer interface displayed my name and froze for a moment, looking at me with surprise on her face. I took off my helmet and smiled at her. "Yes, it's me. Let's get reacquainted. I'm William." Everyone was stunned. Jake especially couldn't believe it. He sat on the ground and yelled, "This is impossible. How could you win me?" I turned my head and looked at him. "It's not easy to win you." Everyone around immediately laughed. "Jake, don't joke around. It's obvious that person is a professional. Yes, this technique. It's definitely the level of a professional rider." Emily was stunned. I never knew you could do that." I smiled. "Emily, you don't know anything about me. Let's get reacquainted. I'm William, World Motocross Championship champion." The scene immediately exploded. "I know him, the World Championship champion 5 years ago." "William, right, I remember now. Oh my God, I'm meeting the real person. Can I have your autograph?" All of a sudden, the riders surrounded me. They all wanted an autograph. Anna stayed by my side the whole time, not taking a step away. Emily was pushed to the outside of the crowd. She looked surprised. Jake looked embarrassed. I walked up to him and said seriously, "Your appearance is okay, but your foundation is not solid enough. Practice more." After that, I turned around and walked away. Before I left, I noticed that Jake's eyes were full of jealousy and hatred. "This is unbearable. There are other arrangements." Anna took me. We went out for a late-night snack again. When we got home, it was already the early morning. "It's getting late. Hurry back. Brother, can I add you on WeChat?" Her eyes were full of expectation. I couldn't bear to refuse. She left only after I agreed. I just got home and saw a pile of cigarette butts on the doorstep. Emily was standing there waiting for me. When she saw me come back, she took a deep breath. Her face was ugly. You know who that woman is? Where have you been? As soon as she came up, she grabbed my wrist. I immediately shook her off and said, "What's it to you? Emily, I'll tell you, it's over between us. And that person you love the most lost to me tonight. You don't need to comfort him. How can you still find time to come find me?" I put my arms around my chest, still wearing Anna's clothes. Emily's expression changed a little. Then she said, "He's not the kind of delicate boy. I came to tell you, don't just pick up any woman because you broke up with me." I laughed and said, "Emily, you're really meddling. Who do you think you are to talk to me like that?" I laughed disdainfully. "It's late, go now. If you don't go, I'll call the police." Who would still be stalking their ex after a breakup? I pushed her away. Emily froze in place. She reached out to pull me back. I gave her a fierce glare. She immediately withdrew her hand just as I closed the door. Emily shouted, "William!" The door closed, keeping her outside. I didn't hear what she said. It didn't matter to me anymore. As soon as I got home, I went to bed. I woke up to find a dozen WeChat messages on my phone. All from Anna. She said, "Good night, brother. Good morning, brother. The weather is nice today. Do you have any plans? Let's go on an outing. I have a great place to recommend." Brother ignored me. "That's okay. I talk too much. Is brother up yet? The kid talks too much." I looked at the clothes on the chair, got up and threw the jacket in the washing machine. After that, I'll reply to him. "Get up, come out and eat." There was an immediate response on the other end of the line. "Brother, what do you want to eat? The private kitchen is ready. It's a quiet place." When I was with Emily, she loved spicy food. I didn't, but I always went along with her tastes. In the past, considering that we were still dating, I mostly gave in to her. Now that we're broken up, I can finally do things my way. "Okay, I know a really good private kitchen. I'll pick you up." I hang up the phone. I change my clothes. I take her jacket and go out. When I arrive, Anna introduces me to the restaurant's signature dish. It tastes surprisingly good. The environment is also quite nice. I really like this style. Each table is hidden behind plants. It's quite private. I look at Anna across the table. I casually ask, "How much pocket money does your family give you each month?" She is suddenly stunned. Her expression is a little panicked. I don't have any pocket money." I wiped my mouth and said, "This jacket I'm wearing is the latest luxury model. It costs 36,000 yuan. The private restaurant you took me to today costs 18,000 yuan for one person. And your Harley motorcycle must be worth at least 1,000,000 yuan. Anna, I'm not stupid. You can't fool me." Anna panicked. "No, I'm not lying to you. I really did earn this money from my part-time job. It's my sister's money. I don't want it." "Okay, I understand. Every family has its own difficulties." "The daughter of the Johnson Group." "Anna," I laughed. "John probably doesn't know her real identity either." Anna's mood was obviously low. She asked, "If my brother finds out, will he disown me? We are friends who have fought side by side." "My dear, let's go back after this meal. I'm not in the mood to play games with Miss Johnson." Anna's face immediately turned ugly. After the meal, I returned her clothes to her and paid the bill. Anna watched me walk away, looking a little lost. After returning to the office, I unexpectedly received a large bouquet of red roses. My assistant said to me with a smile, "Little William always. 999 flowers. Who is so generous to send so many flowers?" The newly delivered bouquet of roses contained an exquisite model motorcycle. Next to it was a card that read, "To the most passionate young Master William." The familiar handwriting, with a strong perfume smell, pungent and flamboyant. I sneered. I told the assistant to throw the flowers away. The action figure was thrown into the trash can. "The most popular young Master William. Emily doesn't understand me at all. I actually hate roses the most. In this game, she was never my match. I like motorcycles, and I like flowers, but the two together, and from that person, I'm completely uninterested." What surprised me even more was Emily actually coming to the door. "William, let's talk." At that moment, the Johnson Group arrived, led by none other than Anna. "William, we meet again." Emily's face immediately fell when she saw her. "Why is she here?" "William, don't believe her. She's not a good person. I just realized that she and Jake have known each other for a long time. Hearing this, I looked at Anna. She didn't seem nervous at all. I like motorcycles too. It's normal to know Jake, but I'm not involved with him, unlike someone else who got close to him after just 2 days. Brother, this kind of person can't be a partner. They're fickle and ungrateful. PFFT. Someone couldn't help but laugh out loud. I couldn't help but laugh. You're right. Emily's face suddenly turned red. She tugged on me and said, William, she's lying. I was able to meet Jake thanks to Anna's help in setting us up. I froze. I turned to look at Anna. She shrugged and said it was me. Brother William, you want to know why? I'll tell you. I'll only tell you. Today was the day I was supposed to discuss a business deal with the Johnson Group, so I nodded and agreed. Emily said anxiously, William, I was in the wrong last time. Give me a chance. Can we start again? This is all her trickery. Don't believe her. I waved my hand. The security guard dragged Emily out. A brief passion makes people attracted to each other, but in the end, it will return to the ordinary, like a long-term relationship. Emily likes to seek excitement and impulsiveness. I just want to find someone nice to marry. In fact, we really don't match. She only cares about herself. She only pursues the impulse and brilliance of that moment. As for the gorgeous afterglow, returning to the calm reality, she can't accept it. And now I just want to figure out what Anna really means. When we arrived at the meeting room, we were the only two left. Anna handed me a proposal. Emily said the wrong thing. I didn't make the connection. I just feel that. A rich person like her. Life is quite boring. Jake took the initiative first, but Emily failed the test. Brother, we are the perfect match. Let's work together. I promise. You won't lose out. The plan in the proposal did make my heart flutter, but I didn't want to fall into the trap so quickly. Anna is the daughter of the Johnson family, nicknamed Rouge Tiger. I asked John to investigate her for me. I found out that she did work in a bar, but that bar was actually owned by her. This so-called part-time job almost fooled me, but since the opportunity came knocking, it would be a shame not to take it. We can work together, but only for the first phase. Whether we continue afterwards depends on your performance. Since there's money to be made, I certainly won't miss out. So after double-checking, I signed the contract. Anna's face immediately lit up with a smile. Brother, I'm so happy to be working with you. I'm very happy. I hope you won't let me down, she said with a smile. John sighed after hearing this. Is she interested in you? She never seems to get involved in scandals, and you have the same interests. Why don't you think about it? The Johnson family is not in control yet. Let's try it first. I'm curious about what Anna really wants, so I agreed to cooperate in the first round as soon as I signed the contract here. But then Emily and Jake broke up. Jake didn't agree. He came straight to me. I'd been busy all day. I just left work and was walking out of the office. I heard a motorcycle. I turned around. Jake was already in front of me. I stood still. His wheels stopped in front of my knees, only a millimeter away. Jake's eyes were full of resentment. He said to William, "Are you happy now? Emily and I are breaking up." I frowned. I asked in disbelief, "What does this have to do with me? You and Emily are both my defeated opponents. Why should I care about you anymore?" His face turned red. He was very dissatisfied. "If you're so good, let's race again. You're not good enough to be my opponent." I said calmly, "Jake, I won't compete with you. In matters of the heart, I'm not at fault. You should go to Emily. She chose you for the novelty. Now she doesn't choose you. It's also because you no longer excite her." After saying that, I walked around him and got into the car. Jake stood still. He didn't leave for a long time. I had no idea how much he had heard what I said. I had no idea. I just hoped that he wouldn't look for me anymore. When I got home, I unexpectedly saw Anna. Since our two families started working together, we have been seeing each other more often. She has been appearing more and more often. She either asks me out for tea or dinner. Today, she came directly to my house. Seeing that I had returned, Anna held up a plastic bag in her hand and said, "My brother hasn't eaten yet, has he? Today I will cook for you myself. I will cook a big meal for you, don't worry. My cooking is absolutely reliable." Hearing this, I couldn't help but laugh. Really? Then just wait and see. After separating from Emily, I moved into an upscale residential area. Even the house was newly renovated. I never used the kitchen once. Anna put on her apron as soon as she entered the door. She went straight to the kitchen. I was resting my eyes. Suddenly, my phone vibrated next to me. I didn't intend to pry into other people's business. I just glanced at it. A message popped up. If you can handle William, you can handle the whole William family. Anna, you've always been obedient, you know what I mean. When I saw the message, my heart tightened. The WeChat profile picture looked familiar. When I clicked on it, I recognized it. It was Anna's sister Linda. She is an ambitious entrepreneur. She has been divorced 3 times. Each divorce has become a springboard for her career. She has achieved a lot. She is well known in the industry. She is a shrewd and capable woman. Compared to her, my methods are far from good. When I saw this WeChat message, I was not surprised. Anna approached me with other intentions. Linda planned to use her beauty to take over the William family, but this plan won't work. Since I've found out about it, I have to plan something. Anna, don't blame me, because I am William, the only heir of the William family. My parents have been in a happy marriage. There has never been any messy affairs in our family. Our family has strict rules. My grandparents love me very much. I also understand the responsibility I shoulder. That's why I can never tolerate betrayal. If someone betrays me, I won't let them get away with it, and they can forget about using the Williams family for their own ends. Emily did, and so did Anna. I sat at the table and waited patiently. I also asked John to check Anna's background for me, and Linda's as well. John called right away to ask, "What's wrong, William?" She's finally revealed her true colors. Not yet. I just want to know what's going on first. Know yourself and your enemy. Only then can you be victorious in every battle. I can't afford to make any more mistakes. I must take control of the situation. There was a moment of silence. Then she sighed. "Don't worry, I'll help you." After hanging up the phone, Anna came out with the food. "You've been waiting a long time, brother. Try my cooking." I smiled at her. I had managed to get 2 glasses of red wine. We drank together. Anna's eyes immediately sparkled. She sat opposite me like a well-behaved puppy. Her eyes seemed about to overflow with tears. I clinked glasses with her and drank. She really did come from a bar. She really could hold her drink. I planned to get her drunk. I wanted to find out some secrets. Instead, I passed out first. As I lay dazed in her arms, I sighed. What a miscalculation. I woke up the next day. My head was a blank. I had forgotten everything that had happened the night before. I saw Anna smiling as she brought me some congee. I gave my head a pat. "You didn't leave." "I didn't say anything stupid last night, did I?" Anna pouted in a pitiable manner. "Brother, you were so rude last night." My heart sank. "No way, absolutely not. That kind of thing doesn't happen when you're drunk." Anna walked up to me. She leaned her head on my shoulder and said, "Brother, you're responsible for me." I froze. I pulled out my phone and prepared to check the security camera. But then Anna sat up straight. She held my phone down and said, "Just kidding. Brother, you're very quiet when you're drunk. You don't make a fuss or say anything stupid." Her eyes were full of sincerity, but I still sensed a hint of disappointment. I pretended not to notice. "Let's go out for congee." Anna still couldn't hold back. "Brother, do you think love at first sight is possible?" "I only believe in love at first sight." Anna's expression immediately became dejected, but I believe it. "I liked you the first time I saw you. I was a junior. I saw you when I went to a university to find a friend, but there was already someone else by your side." It turned out that the first time Anna saw me was at a university. At that time I was already with Emily. She confessed. "I didn't mean to embarrass you. It's just that that woman really isn't right for you. Brother, I know you may not believe it, but I would never lie to you. I'll go first." She stood up and left. I didn't stop her because John also sent me a message. "William, no matter what, Anna is innocent, right or wrong. It's impossible to deal with the Williams. Linda and Anna have the same surname. I won't believe them easily, but I can't back down because of that." 3 months have passed. Anna and I continued to maintain the status quo on the surface. After the first round of cooperation, the William family still had the upper hand in market share. I took personal action. I took away a lot of Linda's resources from the suppliers. She finally couldn't hold her temper. I let it be known that I was looking to seek an alliance. When Anna came to my office, I was not at all surprised. She asked, "Brother, why?" I took a deep breath. I smiled and told her the Johnson Group is quite nice, but you shouldn't let your sister interfere in our William family affairs. Linda tried to use her beauty to seduce me, but you're not at that level yet. I threw the information I had found in front of her. Anna's face immediately turned pale. "This is not what I meant," she said. I replied, "I know this is not what you meant. I also understand that you are not in a position to help, but you are a Johnson, Linda's own sister. I can't imagine if we were together would be swallowed up by the Johnson Group. I'm not sure either. If I really do go against Linda, will you support me fully, Anna? I can't afford to lose. You're the same. We both have too much responsibility. I have so many employees under me. So many families are involved. I can't let my emotions get in the way. If I do, everyone will regret it." Anna understood. Her face turned pale. She whispered, "I understand. But brother, you have to trust me. This was never my idea. I never wanted to go against the Williams. Give me a few days. I'll prove it to you," she said, ignoring my objections. She turned and left. As soon as she was gone, Emily came. Seeing Emily, I frowned. The assistant said nervously, "Young William always." I didn't stop her. I waved her away. Emily rushed in front of me. "William, Anna, that woman is unreliable. There's a problem with your family's project in the west of the city. They urgently need money. I can help you." I waved my hand and said, "Emily, this has nothing to do with you." Emily replied, "William, are you crazy? I'm just looking out for you. Thank you for your advice, but I don't need it in this siege. The Johnson family is the one being used, and Emily is taking advantage of the situation." I stood up and dragged her out. "I already warned you. If you ever set foot in this building again, I'll break your legs now, right now. Get out of here." Emily was very dissatisfied and wanted to continue arguing, but I kicked her out. They all bullied me one after the other. Do they think I won't get angry? But I didn't expect Anna to go all out as well. I packaged the West City project at a low price and delivered it to the city center. The plan was redesigned. It would become a landmark in our city. I voluntarily gave up 30% of the profits. This time the project received the support of the city government. When Linda found out about this, she angrily smashed several antique vases. When Anna came to see me, there were still marks of the beating on her face. She said with a grievance, "Brother, I'm leaving the Johnson house now. I have no money left. Can you let me stay with you?" She took my hand and shook it gently. She said, "My sister said I was in love and had lost my head. She told me to get out. She doesn't want me anymore. Can you take me in? I don't eat much. I won't be a burden to you." That's right. Anna's actions made me understand Linda's plan. I was able to get out in time, handle it properly. Now look at her. I lifted her chin and asked, "No regrets, no regrets. Okay, you have a chance." As soon as Anna heard this, her eyes immediately lit up. "Brother, you have to keep your word. When I came out, I didn't have anything of value on me. I was all alone. My brother said he would take care of me for the rest of my life." I laughed. Linda is a capable woman, but Anna is a typical love-struck girl. As long as she is around, Linda won't be able to stir up any trouble. "Okay, I'll take care of you. As for the length of time, it depends on your performance." Anna's eyes lit up. She immediately said, "Don't worry, brother. I will definitely follow you for the rest of your life." John said. Anna and Linda had a huge fight. Anna went on a hunger strike for a week. The old lady in the Johnson family couldn't stand it anymore. She felt sorry for her. Finally, she compromised. Linda angrily scolded her for being spineless. "William, your sister-in-law is not an easy person to deal with. Are you sure you want to be with Anna?" "Yes, she has already transferred her shares to me." "I can't be serious," John shouted. "William, tell me, how did you get her to come home?" I laughed. "How did I do it? I guess I'm just charming. I fought a good fight. There were some losses, but there were more gains." Emily sighed. She didn't have much faith in me. The Johnsons put all their money in. The forecast was wrong. They couldn't get out in time. They lost a lot of money. The Johnson fortune shrank considerably. Jake gave up on her a long time ago. He joined the motorcycle gang. He became the new generation of motorcycle god. He was very popular on the internet. He also broke up with Emily for good. On the day they broke up, Jake sent me a message saying, "William, you were actually right. I'm going to pursue my dream. I wish you success. After reading this message, I turned off my phone. Dreams are actually not that far away. I've already made it. Emily often came to see me. I took Anna by the hand and said to Emily, "Look at you, you're old now. You're not pretty anymore. What you say is nothing new. You keep repeating the same old things. It's not interesting, it's boring." Anna added, "My brother likes me because I'm obedient, unlike some people. They are never satisfied. Hear what I say." Emily looked lost. She knew it was over between us. Next, I intend to move on. 3 years passed. Anna and I got engaged. The winter sun was warm. I held her hand. Looking into the distance, our future would be peaceful and stable.